Hello. Sit. Cool.
On the floating shipless oceans, I did all my best to smile to your singing eyes and fingers drew me laughing to your eyes, and you sang. Say to me, say to me, let me unfold you. Here
Okay, hope everyone can hear me. Great. I'll be starting in a few minutes. Still a smidge early. But feel free to get settled in a little bit. I have a foam roller out, so we might do a little bit of foam rolling. If you have one of those, that'd be great to have with you. This will be a pretty gentle movement class. Just a lot of checking in with the body, gentle movement, a little bit of stretching and grounding into the body.
for you sing, touch me not, come back tomorrow. Oh my heart shines from the I'm as puzzled as a newborn child. I'm as riddled as the tide. Should I stand with the breakers, or should I lie with death, my bride? Hear me sing, swim to me, let me unfold you. Here I am, waiting to hold
think we'll get started. Hope everyone's doing well. Be sitting here for a little bit, and then we'll do some movement, do a little bit of self-massage, just as something gentle for the end of our day. There we go. Yeah. So let's just start by letting our arms drop by our side. Take a few deep breaths, inhaling and exhaling. Thinking about bringing the breath deep into our belly. Holding it for a moment before exhaling. With each inhale, bring it to a different part of your body, perhaps to your knees, then to your feet, through your fingertips. Just fresh energy to whichever part of your body needs it the most. Checking in with your body. Noticing its current state. Without judgment. With this next inhale, bring our shoulders up. And an exhale, letting them melt down. A few more times. Feel free to go at your own pace. Gently exploring the range of your shoulders up and down. Letting our arms fall by our side. Let's just turn our head left and right, back and forth, exploring the range, noticing, stretching any parts that may need a little bit of movement. Coming to center, we'll rock forward and back. Nice long spine. Thinking about our body tipping forward at our hip flexors and tipping back. Feeling the sit bones rocking forward and back on our stool. Coming to center, tipping to our left and to our right. And keeping the spine nice and long. Feeling the liquid in our body shift to the right and to the left. Coming to center, we'll do a little figure eight, coming through the center, forward, around one sit bone, and forward through the center, around the other. And starting with your attention to your sit bone, notice how the weight transfers along the sit bone, between the sit bones, the different edges. And then bring your attention to your navel, continuing the figure eights. And then bring attention to the heart again. Notice how that attention may change the quality of movement, just subtly. And then bring it up to your throat, the tension at your throat. And then to the crown of your head. Pausing when you come to the center, wherever that may be. Closing your eyes to reverse, coming back around one sit bone, then back through the center, around the other. Starting with your attention at the crown of your head, see if you can notice the wisps of hair flowing in the current you're generating. Soft gaze, attention down to the throat. Noticing that figure eight. Then the attention to your heart. The figure eight shrinks a little bit. Then to the navel. Then to the sit bones. Pausing when you come to center. Okay, let's do a little bit of tapping of our heads, just waking up the scalp, temple, forehead, just bringing it all over. Your cheekbones, hopefully there's not too much feedback from the mic. And then to your jaw, opening and closing the jaw. As you do this. And gently around the throat and behind the neck, all over. To your clavicles, your collarbones, and your chest. Feeling the energy reverberate into your lungs. Shaking loose any stagnation. A few deep breaths can also aid in that. And then down to the belly, a little gentle tapping. Going in a little counterclockwise motion, up, down the right, across and down on the left. Just following that large intestine direction. Okay, let's bring our left hand out and then just tap around the shoulder, bicep, tricep. We'll work our way down towards the hand. You can flip your hands palm up, palm down to help get all the different areas onto the hand, all over wherever you might feel like you need a little bit of attention. Feel free to linger there. You can bring it up and go into the armpit, tapping those lymph nodes down there, the side of the rib. Let's just take a moment to notice the difference between our two sides, where you might have a little bit of buzzing, a little bit of warmth. If you take a deep breath, maybe you can feel a little bit of opening on one side or the other. Be a little different. Yeah, it's definitely shocking. Just a little bit can make a big difference. Let's do the other side. We'll start on the shoulder and gently working your way down towards the fingertips. Nice and loose and relaxed. And then working to your armpit, the sides of the ribs. And then relaxing, noticing the two sides. A little more balanced out, evened out. Okay, let's lean forward a little bit, tap our kidneys. So coming through, yeah, like that. Gentle tapping. Low back, lower ribs. Down to the pelvis, the crest back there, the glutes. And then coming to the side, and then you can see the heel of the palm to press, tap it forward, feeling the muscles falling away gently away from the bone. Sort of like you're brushing energy down, the muscles down. There, yeah. Getting all the sides of your legs, inner, outer, top. Let's cup our knees and a little tapping around the knees. There we go. Okay, let's lift up our left leg and tap the calves. Up. There we go. Let them jiggle a little bit. Crossing over, you can start warming up the foot by bringing it gently out. And then we'll pull each ray out from the heel to the toe, one toe at a time. And we can finish that, do a little, take each, between each toe, do a little split, a little windmill motion, a little scissoring, and work your way between each toe. If you can, put your fingers between each toe so that the palm is on the sole. And do a little circular motion. You can hold on to your ankle while you're doing that. Going both directions. And then coming to the heel and just tapping the bottom of your foot. And pulling the heel back a few times, just tractioning the heel. Placing that foot down, just notice the difference. Maybe there's a little color change, vibrations. Taking the time to check in to notice how just a few minutes can make a significant change and difference in our lives, in our body. Go on to the other leg. Again, we'll start with the calf, tapping it up. There you go. And crossing the foot over, doing a little bit of warming, rubbing action. And then starting from the heel, coming out each foot, doing a little tractioning. And when you finish that, little splits between each toe, a little windmill action. Interlacing the fingers between each toes and holding on to the ankle with the other hand. Do a little foot circle. And tapping the soles of our foot all over. And tractioning the heel back away from the toes. And bringing that foot down when you're ready. Nice and even. Okay, let's stand up. I'm gonna move my stool a little bit so I have some space here. Just trying to get my whole body in the frame. And let's just take a moment to do a few plies. We'll bend the knees, bend the hips, and we're trying to keep the body upright. So if you come to the side, I can just show you it's like this. We're not bending forward, bending back, but the spine is staying upright. And it helps to keep you think about the head staying elongated or reaching towards the ceiling when we're doing that. Yeah. Make sure you have a nice flexion on the hips, right? When we do this. Tailbone reaching down, head reaching up. And when we're doing this motion, I want to highlight the heads of our femur and how that must transfer force directly into the pelvis. Right, there's these acetabulum, where the pelvis cups the femur head. So there's this nice interface that glides, but also must hold the weight of our body. So it helps for me, at least, to identify where that is in my body. I like to put my hands in that area, like in the hip flexors, and just be aware that my femurs heads are rolling in the socket and moving nice and smoothly. And how, if you think about it, there's this femur head, if they're looking forward, they sort of roll up and back into the socket, right? So it might encourage a little bit of flexion or bending as we plie, where we bend our knees, and then it sort of opens up as we come up. Okay, we'll stand up. Let's shift weight to one side and to the other. Again, thinking about how the weight must transfer fully onto one femur head and then all the way to the other. An image or an idea is like you're a boat and you're on two buoys. You're shifting onto one buoy and onto a rocking onto it. So the bones are designed to hold the weight. They're structural components. So when doing this meditative motion, I frequently think about how can I release as much tension in my legs and my body and find that balancing point on that ball. So I'm moving with the breath, inhaling as I begin the transfer, exhale to sort of settle into the bone. Can help me identify where I might be holding more tension and see how I can subtly shift different parts to release that tension and find more of an alignment between the femur and the pelvis. As we transfer all the way to one leg, the opposite leg, in this case my right leg, is hanging free. There shouldn't be much tension. It should just, gravity should do its thing and just traction it down. We can shift over to the other side, feeling the weight, that right leg holding the body, but the left leg can just sort of relax down, maybe a little opening into TFL, your glutes, your hip flexors, your psoas. And with that, bring the breath deeper into the pelvic floor. Feeling how the breath may allow certain muscles to relax, especially in that floating side, that hanging side. Okay, I'm gonna shake out the legs a little bit. So we have the muscle, the psoas muscle that a lot of people talk about, and I think it's nice to at least identify in our body where that is, right? So it's in the sort of back part of the body, but it's in front of your lumbar spine, right? So, and it connects pretty high up. I think for most people, you might think it's pretty low, but somewhere between the bottom of your breastbone and your navel is like this place where it is, and it goes deep behind there into the spine, and comes all the way down into sort of wraps around the neck of the femur, right? So there's this part by the groin, this part in the center, and it's really deep in the body, right? So in some sense, like coming from the front might not even make a lot of sense because it actually hugs the body of the vertebrae, the lumbar vertebrae, right? So from that side, we talk about how the psoas is a leg flexion muscle, right? So like, can we like think about how deep that is in the body, like behind our viscera, behind our guts, behind the small intestine and all that, and how that using just that muscle, I know there's a lot of other muscles involved, but we think about using that muscle to bring the knee up and bend the leg, right? And just using a little bit of visualization to think about this long muscle kind of like a marionette doll connected to the top of your femur around the neck. How that can just gently assist in pulling the leg up, the knee up. So the muscle will shorten as your knee comes up, and it will lengthen as it comes back down. Okay, let's switch sides and try and find that on the other side. So we've got this deep behind the belly to the neck of the femur, and let's think about that muscle shortening or flexing to bring the knee up and lengthening down. And if it flexes, it's probably bulging a little bit. So maybe you can feel the belly of that muscle along the abdominal cavity in the back there, or around other muscles, other organs. Get your Let's shake that out a bit. So similarly, when we stand here, as we bend our knees, you can think about the psoas also helping the knees come forward, bending them a little bit, and participating in this plie action. So those psoas should shorten as you come down, and then lengthen or eccentrically work to bring your body back up. Coming down gently. So there should be like a little bit of stretch. Just stretching the muscle as you come back up. Really gentle, just that idea of the stretch. Coming up. Take a few steps around our room just to feel what our body feels like. And now that we have a better awareness of our psoas, we can feel how they work to swing our leg forward and back, right? So we'll be working to help bring one leg forward and the other leg forward, or as you drive, the leg that's behind will lengthen the psoas slightly, or stretch the psoas. They're just keeping that in mind as we take a few steps, walking around. Coming back to our center. Take a few deep breaths in. Noticing how the inhale will draw the breath down, lengthening and massaging the psoas. A few times. 4. And shaking it out. See, is there anything happening? Cool. Cool. All right. And let's move on to a little bit of self-massage with the foam roller. I'm gonna first lay down and roll my body out along the ribs. Working around the armpit area can be nice. And towards the pec area. Lingering wherever you feel the need to. Let's see if there's another thing. Nope. We'll work on the other side as well.
Joseph, I can't see you anymore.
Okay, interesting. I'm seeing myself as displaying, but I will check
Okay.
to see what's happening. Let me try stopping the video and restarting it. Did that help?
I'll try to call in again.
Okay, that might work. There you go.
I got it.
Oh, sweet.
Weird.
Yeah. I'm like, I never showed myself as not broadcasting, but okay.
I'm like, I need the foam roller.
Yeah. So just technical difficulties happen. It's good to catch them early, make sure that everyone can see what's happening. So, the foam roller, I'm going to start with the chest again. And hopefully you can see this. Since I'm lying down, I can't really even look at the screen. But I'm staying on my side mostly to start out with, and I'm working around the side of our ribs, up to the armpit. And I'm just using my foot to push my body forward and back. And we can roll towards the back a little bit to try and find different parts of our body. that may be tender, maybe sore that might be tight. You can also roll towards the front, working on the pecs. And then towards the collarbones there. It can also be nice to explore having your palm down, the arm that's away from your body, above your head, or you can move that palm up. That can change the type of muscle fibers or the parts of muscles that you are working. And while we're here, we can slowly move down so we can work more of our triceps, bicep muscles. Slowly working our way down towards our fingertips. Feel free to reposition your foam roller as you need to. And as your hand is towards, as the foam roller rotates towards your palm, just above the palm, you can feel how that can create the side arching action that we try to achieve in a lot of our gyrokinesis movements on the side arches, or in gyrotonic we have the archway side stretches or upper straps sideways. Then when you're ready, we can switch sides. I like to take a moment to just notice the two sides again. It's reinforcing why this can be nice to do on a regular basis. So switching sides, again, we started today with working on the sides of our armpits. Working along all those ribs, different intercostal muscles. You can tip so you're facing up, working a little more towards the back. Your scapula. Before working towards the front and the pecs. Just lingering wherever you need it more. Remember, you can try using your palm up or palm down. And slowly working your way down as you work the rest of that arm. As you get to the heel of that hand, feel how that roller can help encourage a side arch of the entire spine. Opening up the armpit. And when you're ready, we'll switch over to our back. I like to bring my hands over my head, but if that's a little too much for you, you can always keep them closer to your chest. The further up you bring them, the more of a stretch you'll get. You can using your feet to roll your body up and down. And with this, I like to think about opening the joint between each vertebrae. Remember to breathe. Making sure you work your way down to the lumbar area. Working those QLs a bit. And while you're there, you can shift more towards or tilt more towards your right and to your left. Again, to work a little different parts of those QLs. Again, being gentle with yourself, being mindful of your edges and limits. And we can come up and then work our glutes. This roller. I'm tilting a little bit to my right. You can use whichever side you need first. We'll do both sides, of course. Just working that glute area along the sacrum. You can also turn out to work a little more of the meat of that muscle. Turn, tilt to your side also. Just working along the entire glute. Paying attention to where it meets the bones. Coming a little further down to the hamstring. Again, working the turn in and turn out. Going all the way from the sit bone to the knee. And then we can work the inner thigh a little bit. Coming back out towards your IT band. And remember to go all the way from your knee to your hip. we'll slowly keep rolling until we start working in our quads. Remember to work all the way to the knee. And all the way to the hip. Coming back to that sitting position, we'll work down to the calf. Still working that same leg. You can sort of feel like the kneading on the ladder that sometimes we do. Where we scrub the calf out. It's not the same really, but get some facsimile of that. So again, we'll want to turn in the leg. And then turn out. Working all the way to the heel. And to the knee. And then let's take a moment to notice the difference between our right side and left side. Maybe one leg's a little longer. And let's do the other side. I'm going to turn around with my left leg. So with this, we started with our glute. Rolling on the butt. And then paying attention to all the bony protuberances that we have in our pelvis. Whatever you can feel. It's generally where there might be a little more tenderness. Feeling free to turn in and turn out your leg. Working our way to our hamstring. Again, all the way to the knee, to the hip, turning out, and turning in. And then coming to your side so you can get that inner thigh going. Come back up, working towards our IT band. Again, being mindful to go all the way to your knee and to your hip. And gradually working your way over to your quads. Making sure you work your inner quads also towards the groin. Coming back to our sitting position to work onto our calves. Turning in, turning out, working from the knee all the way to the ankle. Then coming off of that, take a moment to notice the changes that have occurred in your body. Okay, let's stand up and let's do a few standing waves to integrate this with a little bit of movement. So let's start by arching our body and then do a lentil curl. Keep them into a balanced arch and a balanced curl. Reaching up into arch, hitting that high V, and reaching forward into our curl. then the armpits open up, reaching your arms far away from our heart. And then curl again, reaching our arms away from our chest. Up. And then we'll wave for arch, bending at the hips. And then curl from the sacrum, coming up. Opening up our arms again to come forward. Then staying up in that nice arch, feeling the legs reach down into the ground, arms reaching up and away. Reverse into diving, curling down. Scooping our head and arms up, opening the armpits. Arching up. And then diving down, hands brushing down your body, scooping away to come up in an arch. Coming up into arch. Staying up, we'll spiral towards our right side. Wave forward, staying up in tabletop position. Coming up, curled, come up. And then waving forward around the left. Coming around, curl. Come up. And one more coming around. Up, we'll open our legs wide. Come through the center a few times with this new leg position. Going down, coming up. Waving forward, arch. Reverse diving down. Nice. Really scooping your arms and head away from your sit bones as you come up. From here, we'll stay up. A little side arch, holding onto your hand. Switch sides. Alternating, holding onto the wrists. Help pull the side over. Side arch, and from here we'll wave forward. Tabletop position. Side arch to come back up. Side arch, wave forward. Side arch coming up. Side arch, kind of wave reaching forward. Coming up. Here, we'll wave down over the right leg, whichever leg you're on. We're going to come around to the other side. We'll curl all the way up. And again, we'll dive down. Come around. Curl up. Made a little mistake there. We'll wave down. Curling over. Then curl up. And then we'll wave down. And one more. Staying down, we'll bring our opposite arm to opposite leg to do a little spiral. And then come around to the center. Switching legs. I've got, in this case, my right arm to my left leg. Spiral. Opening up. Gaze looking towards the hand that's coming up behind our back. Come to center, rolling the body up. Bring the legs together for a little bit of standing on all fours. Hands up. Slowly rolling down. Long curl. Coming slowly down until your hands reach the floor. If you can't reach the floor, you can always hold on to your ankles, wherever you need. A few strong exhales to open up the kidney area in our back. So we're trying to stay curled, head still dangling down. A few strong exhales to, again, open the back. Last one. And slowly rolling your body up, vertebrae by vertebrae. Find the point where your head balances on the top of your spine. Find the central axis of your body from that point. Hinging from your ankles, just rocking gently forward and back, keeping the spine, hips and knees straight. And come to center, shifting left and right. Building the awareness of the central axis of your body. And come to center with quarter turns, bringing your right leg up and then turning to your right, and left leg to meet it. See if you can turn on that central axis. Taking deliberate steps to turn. And we made 8 steps. Doing a 360, turn the other way. Soft gaze. And then changing directions whenever you meet the front again. When you come to your center, just close your eyes, letting your body sway to its natural rhythm. Coming to a sense of grounding with your own body in its motions. And fluttering your eyes open. There you go. Thank you for joining. Happy to have you here.
That was great. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for joining.
Yeah, that foam roller was just like amazing.
Yeah,
I found it. I'm gonna. Yeah, that is inspiring.
yeah. No, I like frequently do spend like an hour just foam rolling and rolling my body out, and sometimes my roommates are like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, I gotta, I need my time.
Oh, the possibilities.
Yeah, the possibilities, and then if you have Netflix on or something, it's not too bad in terms of time. But
All right. Thank you.
thank
So,
you.
um,
Yeah, thank you. Hope to see you again.
bye.
All right, bye.